Okay guys, here's the results of the bone chopping tests. I took all the blades, cleaned them all off with acetone, and then uh, took measurements of all of them, wrote them down on yellow stickum notes. Yellow's the best color of stickum notes anyways. And then adjusted the megapixels on my camera so that hopefully we can see, I can get the edge damage to pick up a little bit better. This is the Cold Steel Gladius. There's hardly, you can see there's just a little bit of rolling in there. There are the specs on the Gladius. The worst damage, there at the bottom it says deepest damage was about 10/1000ths of an inch deep, and I can't pick that up on the camera. The thickness of the blade at the depth of the deepest damage was about 10/1000ths of an inch thick. You can see just hardly anything really for the amount of abuse on that bone that it was taking. Here's my Gladius. This one right here, I did make a mistake in the video. This was out of a leaf spring, triple quenched in vegetable oil, and I did draw it back a little bit softer at a 400-degree draw instead. And just slightly any edge damage on that one. The deepest edge damage was about 5/1000ths deep, and the thickness of that edge was around 10/1000ths thick at the depth of the deepest damage. Here's my shop chopper. This one was the one that surprised me quite a bit, that it got so much damage, but it was ground quite a bit thinner than what I thought it was. Again, that's another plug for using the micrometer instead of judging everything by eye. But it was out of a leaf spring. I made it quite a while ago. I forget the specifications on the heat treat. But the depth of the deepest damage was 32/1000ths from the edge, and the thickness of that damage was 25/1000ths. See if getting that paper out of the way helps any at all. Okay, and then my new pack knife. Out of 5160, 350-degree draw. Depth of the deepest edge damage was about 20/1000ths, and the steel was 16/1000ths thick at that depth. The Fiskars, like I said, it's not an X7. It says 1306 on the head is cast in there. Edge damage was, the deepest was 40/1000ths deep, and it was 21/1000ths thick at that depth. And the cleavers, the American Cutlery Cleaver. Depth of the edge damage was 20/1000ths, and it was 18/1000ths thick at that depth. And that one just had just a slight amount of rolling. My cleaver at a 1095. Depth of the deepest damage was 25 thousandths, and the steel was 13 thousandths thick at that point. That little bit there. The cleavers, like I said, they only hit ribs. They didn't hit the leg bones. A 52-100 Hunter. Had a convex edge on it. Depth of the deepest damage was 25 thousandths, and it was 18 thousandths thick at that depth. And then the 1095 Hunter. This one was ground pretty thin, 11 thousandths at the shoulder of the edge. Measured 32 thousandths, a quarter inch back from the edge, and the depth of the deepest damage was 165 thousandths, and the steel was 27 thousandths thick at that depth. And the two Hunters, they were I didn't put the weight or the length of the blade as they were batting through the bones with my grandfather's old carpenter hammer. So it's kind of looking across the board that about 25, maybe 30 thousandths or so is going to be the thickness required for chopping leg bones. Kind of across the board, the and a convex edge helps quite a bit. So I'll have to write all this in my logbook and think about it for a couple of days and come up with kind of minimum thicknesses for chopping bones. Hope you enjoyed it.